like I should have written a poem or something for Max.
We know I don't mind chucking a poem out. Done
I
one for
feel
Kozzy.
like you're the type of guy that could just riff.
I asked him in the go.
Riff a Max.
Off the day. Nah, let me have a quick look here.
Maximus,
Here's to Maxi Gawn. You've been with us for long. Your rutcraft is just like porn.
Oh,
that
good.
makes sense. And off. You know what? You got me off. You got me off
I'll
here.
put you on the spot.
Nah, it's
Now,
okay.
what we should have done, this is the official, unofficial podcast of the Melbourne Demons, the DeeBrief. We should have, A, put a poem together
Yep.
before we started recording. B, we could have just done a montage, Nick. Easily.
Don't look at me.
What were we thinking? It's not in the contract, by the way. Nick
I'm
doesn't
still
get
on
paid.
probation, right?
He's on probation. He doesn't have a
yeah.
contract.
He's in
Yeah.
probation.
He could.
You will come out of probation tonight because we are playing the Carlton Football Club. Nick, I'm going to throw to you off the top. Carlton, sum them up.
How long have you got?
You can take the floor for as long as you want.
Oh,
Get yourself out of
That's
probation.
poetic.
They're just delusional.
Oh, I like that.
They've just gone on for so long thinking they're better than they are.
Yep.
And they just disappoint themselves in an even funnier way each and every year. So I love that aspect to it. That's the joy they bring to the game. But other than that, I would have no issues if they just didn't exist anymore. None.
No, I completely understand that.
That's good from
the
you.
enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yes.
So this week, you might have long service by the end of this podcast.
Mate, he might. It is big this week for so many different reasons. Max, we've alluded to T-Mac, and we're going to get to a special item that we've created for the faithful.
One of one.
We owe them so badly.
Yeah.
It's been really frustrating. We had a great run against Carlton for quite a few years there.
Yeah.
Where we were pantsing them. And the tables have turned. We have lost the last 4 games in a row by the narrowest of margins, one of them being the small matter of a semi-final. I still shudder at the thought. I still shudder at the vibrations that were being had at the Mecca. It still gives me nightmares, that game. And since that moment, we still haven't beaten the Carlton Football Club. And Marker actually said it to me, and Marker is an apologies tonight. He couldn't come in, Zorks, but he said, don't get too invested. And I thought, nah, it's Carlton. I'm so invested in this one. And because we are a developing team and we're going to have growth pains, and we saw that last week against Fremantle, I circled this one on the calendar, Zorks.
8-point game.
As they like to say, this is a wild card game.
It's a wild card game in a wild card year.
Yep.
And we're a wild card team.
We are. We're a wild card team.
Right.
And Carlton are probably a wild card team.
Yeah,
so
but
it's a big game for so many reasons. But if we strip it back and take the wild card out of it, Zorks, we just need to bloody beat them because I'm sick of losing and I'm sick of suffering these losses in the manner that we have the past 4 times. It's been a sickening one, and we need to get the chockies on Sunday.
Absolutely. It's one of those ones where you ever had that mate that you're better at than footy, but they're just better at you at darts, pool, just all those little BS-y things that somewhat matter to you, and for some reason they've just got that wood on you.
Table tennis.
Yeah, table tennis,
Yeah.
just pub games, so to speak. And I feel like the last few years...
Origami.
Open, shut, open. Well, they'll be folding like paper this weekend. I'm pretty confident with us.
Tamagotchi.
Digimons. It's just the most BS-y of circumstances as well. And like they can't be happy with the bragging rights that they've had in the past couple of years.
Liar on the line.
One of the most, I reckon I think about that once a week.
Judas kicked that one from downtown.
Hooters?
Yeah. 6 to 8 week hamstring.
Oh, well. Should have conditioned yourself better in the off season apart from doing the media tour, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not salty.
Neither am I. Liar on the line was big.
So that semi-final, I have a
9-17.
bit of a confession, bit of a faux pas.
Do we have to do it?
No, just a quick one.
Mm.
I'd actually organised a date that night because I was that down on us, and I was like,
I thought you were going to say I was that desperate.
No, well, she was. No, I ended up on this date, and I was just like, I don't want the Melbourne Footy Club to ruin my night. I want to do that on my own volition.
Yeah.
And it was the last few seconds. I've checked the score. I've looked up at her, and I was like, this is good. Things are going to go well. Paid the bill. Neptune over in Paran. Great date spot for all you single folks out there.
Thank you. Yep.
Nick, he's well and truly off probation.
Nick is capitalised.
Looked back down at my phone. I looked at the score. I had to shut the app and open it back up again, thinking, what's going on? And we move on from that. We owe them. It's an 8-point game. They're going nowhere. We've got optimism. Their coach has been fighting for his life since the preseason.
They don't even like him.
No, they don't like each other. Their clubs don't like each other. But
They turn on each other.
So they should. And let's turn on them too. Like, this is one of those things. I like beating Carlton whenever it happens because when they beat us, they're not beating us in good faith. They know that they got out by the skin of their teeth, and it's the most tin-arsey of circumstances. And at the end of the day, all that matters is winning and losing. And all we have to go is, you won.
I must
and you won when
admit,
it mattered.
3 of those 4, I felt like were there for us. Clearly, the semi-final, I think we were meant to win that unexpected score by 4 or 5 goals. We had all the running in the last quarter. Everyone knows about it. We don't need to go down the rabbit hole again. The one that we actually got the closest in margin-wise, we lost by a point. You remember Judas kicked 5 and he was unbelievable. Fair play to him.
He was very good.
He was unbelievable. One of the best individual performances I've seen.
His hamstrings are fine then.
He was awesome. We were 6 goals down, I think, during the second quarter at one point. We didn't really have a right to win that one. We got really close at the end, but Carlton realistically should have put that one away and it should have been comfortable. However, we sit here now. There is some optimism about the club. We got our pants pulled down last week. We showed a bit of fight back against Freo. The first quarter was horrendous. Senior leaders were not stepping up. Christian Salem and Jake Lever were really, really poor in that first quarter. They'll look back at the footage and go, ooh, no good. Kingy not happy. However, it's Max Gawn's 250th and it's his best mate, Tom McDonald's 250th. It's got to get the boys up. Now, teams don't always win their milestone games. Corey Enright knows that, of course. When we beat them down the highway in 2015 in Max Gawn's breakout game.
What a game.
What a game it was. I was there in the flesh. It was unbelievable. But it's Max Gawn. And do you know what? I was thinking about this earlier in the week because I knew T-Mac was going to get the call up. I got some mail through. He's nailed on. T-Mac is a great favourite son. He's a very popular figure of this group. Most Melbourne supporters like T-Mac. I love T-Mac because he's not blessed with all of this ability and all of this talent, but he's really gotten the most out of himself. He's had a very respectable, I would say even above serviceable career. There's been moments, particularly in 2018, where he became Nita for a season and was binning goals for fun.
That was awesome.
It was a great year. And he was a revelation up forward for us Zorks. And even when he's gone down back, he's been great and he's taken some really good forwards to the cleaners and had some big performances. And T-Mac is a very honest performer, a bloke that was drafted, I believe, off the top of my head at like pick 56 or 54. Nick can get it up for us.
Same as his brother, I think, 56, 52, something
similar, something like that. And Max, we all know what Max is, and we'll do a little ode to Max in a bit. But I just wanted to fixate on T-Mac because he's someone that has somewhat flown under the radar a little bit at our footy club. And to play 250 games and be a solid contributor and be there during the dark years and come out the other side and have some success and win a premiership and kick the last goal of the 2021 grand final. Well done, T-Mac.
Absolutely. And I just pull you up on something. I don't think you can be serviceable and play 250 games. I think you're just good.
Yeah.
I think to play 250 games of footy in the circumstances in which he's come through the ranks, you're a damn good football player, T-Mac. And
unless you're Luke McDonald at North Melbourne.
Yeah, like he could be in this room and I wouldn't be able to point him out. Luke McDonald, that
Pick
is.
53, by the way.
Oh,
Gee, we were
53 for
close.
T-Mac. There we go.
There we go.
So someone like T-Mac, to reinvent himself halfway through his career from a centre-half back, to obviously,
Nita.
John Coleman. Calling it out there. It was incredible to see because my attitude towards that era is he was, in terms of depth of kick, he wasn't great at depth of kick, but he was very straight. And I think that we identified really quick. Put him somewhere, ask him to kick straight. He can do that really well. And he does. From his diet change to even the last couple of years, he's one of our most confident, steady intercept defenders. Like last year when he was in, he would mark the ball, but it was just so... He would mark it, go about his business, and it was just so expected. He's like, I've been here before, I've been there. The freedom that we've spoken about. But 250 games for someone that's come through at the same time as Max, through the darker stages of a football club, any football club, to still be there. I was having a conversation with one of the boys at work the other day. I say, T-Max 250th this weekend as well. And his initial response was, because Tom McDonald, he's still playing.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, he's still playing. He's carrying on the long, strong McDonald legacy at the Melbourne Demons. We've always loved a McDonald.
Yes.
I feel like we've had a McDonald in our team since 1995. I want to keep it that way.
1905.
Yeah.
There would have been a few back in the day.
I reckon by then we'd already won 10 flags.
A few Robertsons, a few Smiths.
A couple more Picketts. But the journey is just workman, not gifted with, comparatively to other footy players
Like
with
Max.
gifts. Exactly right, like Max. But he's got to work the entire time and honestly, honest footballer,
Yeah.
trustworthy.
He's been awesome.
He deserves it all.
Also, he deserves a T-shirt.
He does deserve a T-shirt. So obviously the club's released the Max Gawn 250 T-shirt, which is awesome. We love to see it. Great design. Haven't picked it up myself. I think it's just in bad taste as a team to produce a T-shirt for one and not the other, especially when they're drafted together. They both won that flag together.
Yeah. This is an important thing to address.
So we've got one of one. I've got my design pants on. With it, these are currently my tracksuit pants, but I've taken the design pants off. So we've got also T-Mac 250th. Now this is I've drawn this over an unknown ex-Demons player. That I miss still. But on the back as well, like, because we like to double up for these things. This is a high quality product. We printed on the back as well. We've got T-Mac 2. Now, sorry for the people listening at home. We've got a long sleeve Luke Jackson shirt here that we've drawn over with marker. We've got T-Mac 250 on the back and Max.
I love Max in the small fine print.
Yeah, well, this is about as small as Max will ever be. All right, he's been big every day of his life, so I've
done a great job with that.
Yeah, so all the loyal listeners, anyone sits there and does want,
Who really wants it?
who really wants this now? Scotty, no. I know you're his best mate, and you both eat porterhouse together on Sundays.
Yeah.
But whoever wants this,
What do they have to do to get it? They just need to tell us how much they love T-Mac.
yeah, tell us in the comments. You know what? Get really verbose with it. Paragraphs. We want the most outlandish. We love Tom McDonald. And
What about a
you
poem?
know what?
A poem?
Sorry,
A
mate.
poem.
Yeah.
Write us a poem about T-Mac. Incorporate everything you love about him.
Even a song for all the
Kados.
musicians, the real creatives.
We've got some musicians here. So, look, up yours for the grabs. It's yours up for grabs. Up yours for the grabs.
Now, if you don't want this beautiful T-Mac T-shirt, we can also just give you some tub and you can get a hat or a beanie or a scarf or whatever you want.
Now,
But I would say you're missing out if you don't want
look, this is a one of one original Zorks.
It's impressive.
So, yeah, look.
Impressive work. Well done.
Really looking forward to giving this away.
What a great little tribute.
Do you
Well
want
done to Tom.
Would you like to guess how many McDonald's you've had in Melbourne history?
Oh,
What a great game.
Nick, you're on fire. You're coming
so
out of
off
probation,
peas.
mate.
He's so off peas.
You're coming out of probation.
Take a guess.
All right. In history.
In history.
In Melbourne Football Club history, the amount of McDonald's that have played for the club.
So Mac and Mick.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Not that it really matters here, but yeah.
Well, it does.
Yeah.
Because some have A's and some don't.
I will go ahead and say we've had 12 McDonald's had a farm EIEIO.
That's weird. I was going to say 13, so I'm going to stick with it.
12 and 13. What's that important for? Flags. Flags.
It is. Nick?
7.
Ah, 7.
So there's T-Mac, O-Mac, J-Mac, and just a few others.
Who else?
Alec McDonald.
Alex McDonald, his brother.
Oh, Alec, yeah. The centre half back flank.
Yep.
Oh, no, Anthony McDonald.
Anthony
Oh,
McDonald.
Sorry, Anthony, the left
Alec
footer.
McDonald played the
Alec McDonald.
one game in 1906, if you want.
Oh,
Yeah,
there we
but
go. Hmm.
he was on that day, from what I've heard.
He was great that day.
Yeah.
He had 10 score involvements.
It was a loss. And then we had Fen McDonald.
Fen.
That's
What year?
That's
also
World War
played
II
one
era.
game in
Played-
1913.
Yeah,
What are
that's
these
World
blokes
War
playing
era.
one game?
Who's
Also-
named Fen?
Also a loss.
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, piss off.
and
We
then-
don't need to know whether it was a win or loss.
And then the other one is Jim McDonald.
We love Jim.
Don't say it was a loss.
Also played one game
And?
and another loss.
Oh, what's this?
So he's the most
1942.
successful McDonald to ever play for us.
This is so funny.
Kick on. This is great.
And that's
So
it.
That's it. And then you name the other ones. So
Yeah, we got them all.
James, T-Mac, O-Mac.
Forgot
Wow.
Anthony. Great left footer
Mac Andrew.
back in the day. Missed out on him.
Uh,
All right, we move on from T-Mac. Great tribute, Zorks. That's fantastic.
this.
If you want this coveted T-shirt, you can have it. Max Gawn. So,
as I live and breathe.
Max Gawn, unbelievable last week. Tees up 250 against Carlton at the G. It's perfect, really, when you think about it. Just love Max.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. I've got nothing else to say. Max is everything we could have hoped and more. Max is someone that when I saw him playing against Geelong that day in 2015, I never imagined in my wildest dreams as a Melbourne Football Club supporter he would become the player he is today. No one would have ever thought he would have 8 All-Australian jackets. No one would have ever thought he would have been the skipper of this football club. Because what we saw initially, early days, and it's well documented, is a bit of a rat bag. Don't worry, I was the biggest rat bag on the planet myself at a similar age.
Yeah.
It took him a long time to apparently hit the standards, training habits, all those types of things. So to be sitting here now following his whole journey for someone that's 36, he's 34.
I'm 35.
There you go. And just to be talking about him as this absolute giant, not only physically but metaphorically of the game, it's just wild, Zorks. Like, it's absolutely absurd. I pinch myself when I think about all of the accolades and the way that he's played his footy. There are not many players to have ever graced our beautiful game that have the fourth quarter ability of Max Gawn.
Absolutely
It's
right.
insane. There are so many things you can say about him, so many superlatives that I've already said on this podcast throughout the last 9 or so years. But I think the thing for me that always gets me with Max Gawn is how he can continue to go back to the well time and time and time again. And the last point on Max, so many opposition supporters will say to you, far out, Max Gawn is something else, or Max Gawn's a freak, or stop kicking it to Max Gawn.
Yeah, I've said that about 100 times, I reckon.
Yeah, I know. Like, stop kicking it to Max Gawn, or who are you worried about this week? Oh, Gawn,
Yeah.
obviously.
Max first.
So I think that just sums him up. Like, universally, he's so well loved. He's so well feared as an opponent to all the opposition fans. And it's wild to think he's achieved everything he's achieved in his career to this point. When I was standing on the terrace in Geelong, yes, I watched his breakout game, but there wasn't even a slither of me thinking that he was going to get to the levels that he has. And he continues to perform at the highest level. He was brilliant last week against Freo, and it looks like there's nothing stopping him from potentially getting a 9th All-Australian jacket. We are blessed to have Max Gawn in our lives and to watch him for as long as we have, and long may it continue. I hope we get another 2-3 years out of him.
Absolutely. I think the thing about Max that really stands out to me throughout his career and getting towards the end of it now is he just cares so much. He just cares so much. Like, obviously he does that Triple M segment. You hear him chatting and all that. But tell me, when he had that breakout game, 2015, he had no jackets at that point. It was 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? He's got 8 jackets in 10 to 11 years, give or take, right? With an injury in there in 2017, 18. I would argue if you were to give me a ruckman that had 5 All-Australian jackets over the course of their career,
Go.
would you say that is a Hall of Fame career?
Mm.
I'd argue that Max Gawn has 2 Hall of Fame careers in the last 10 years.
Yeah, wow. It's a good way of looking at it.
Name another. Because the thing is, when that first game, also Alex Nearbullen kicked 3 goals too, right? So huge game for my boy. Best
Don't
of luck
forget
tonight, Al. But he hit that game, and that wasn't an aberration. That was truly the watershed moment. He was that man from that moment onwards.
Pretty much.
And he still is.
Yeah.
And he will continue to be until his body gives up on him. And he's not giving up on his body. He's the fittest person in this room.
Yeah.
You know? So to say we're lucky, understatement. When, to live in a world where we're not going to have someone like that for the longest time in the future, truly appreciate it whilst we've got it. Every second, every intercept mark.
Yeah.
Every skew-if goal that he probably shouldn't have kicked, and every point that he probably should have kicked the goal on. Just lap it all up, because there was a period in time that us Dees fans were screaming for anyone to hang a hat on, anyone to lean on, any crutch to say, yeah, but you know what, competition? He's ours.
Yeah, and before we get to DMs, because I know we've got to roll with the DMs and get into the team news, but I've said this plenty of times before. Our club, we fucked up in 2022, halfway through the season. We did. And we know that we did, and we've gone back and looked at it, and hindsight is a wonderful thing, but we were kidding ourselves with our cultural issues and players playing up and whatnot. And we completely butchered 2022. And then we ended up butchering 2023, and yes, there's a little bit of luck that didn't fall our way, and fuck you, Nick. But we didn't get there in the end. And then we went through this pretty horrible, stressful, pain-ridden 24 and 25, and a coach at the helm that clearly had run out of petrol tickets, which is a pretty apt thing to say at the moment.
Nice.
That was nice. But Max has had to burden the responsibility of all the shit and all the crap. And he's the one that has fronted up at every single moment when I reckon there's been a few cowards that have shunned the limelight and haven't come out and haven't got on the front foot and haven't defended the football club. And he's the one that has. So, yes, there's the footballer. There's the All-Australian jackets. There's the Keith Bluey Truskets. There's the premiership. There's the captaincy. There's all those things we see on field. But honestly, it's almost the things off the field that I admire the most about Max Gawn.
More so.
And the fact that he's a great family man. And, I like to think I'm a similar human. I think family's everything. And I love to see that side of him. And, for me, being a Melbourne supporter, having to go through the ringer in the past 24 months before we cleared the decks, and to see Max kind of front up, you can see he's a little bit deflated, but he puts on a brave face. He deals with the media scrutiny. Like, honestly, as a supporter, that stuff is worth its weight in gold. Like, that is the mark of respect that you want to see in a human, the way that they're able to just own the actions of others and be accountable for it and take the heat. And he's been the man that's had to do that. So my respect for him is like out of control, really.
Yeah.
Because our football
centimetres of respect.
Because we got dragged through the mud, and he was always there for us, Zorks.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that I probably most love about him, even more than his footballing exploits.
I think owning the actions of others is a really, really apt statement, because that's true leadership, right? Taking the whippings for when you know they're not for you, but you understand as a leader that is the right thing to do. And he's led from the front. I've not seen him shirk any on or off-field responsibility. And it goes to say when you're introduced in your footy career, there's Max Gawn, 211 centimetres, and Dennis, I don't know. When you enter your career with 2 names, but you retire with 1,
yes,
that's how you know you're one of the greatest.
Yeah, big time.
Max.
Yeah.
Who else am I talking about? Who else is anyone talking about? Max.
It's a good point.
There's only one.
Sam,
Jordan. Yeah.
Blees,
Who? Yeah. Cook.
Lucas,
Tumpus.
Jim. Big Jim, just on it,
Jimothy Steins.
being serious, he's done Jimmy proud. Beyond proud. Jimmy be looking down going, holy hell. Same thing I said before. This young kid, this gangly kid has got to the levels that he's got to both on and off the field. He'd be the proudest of people up there, Big Jim.
To sit there and say to one of our parents is a Dees fan, there's going to be a debate about the greatest number 11 that the Dees have ever had.
True.
You take that.
They think we're mad when we said it pre-Gawn career.
Yeah.
Mad. We're like, what are you talking about? This bloke who wears 37.
Yeah. Adds up to 10, though. Out of 10.
There you go.
There you go. Bit of numerology for the people following it.
That was smart.
I'm very happy it adds up to 10 because I would have looked very silly for a second.
All right, Nick, we're going to roll the DMs, but you're going to give us your
goodness.
best 15, 20 seconds. What do you think of Max Gawn?
You guys summed it up really well, but to be
your
honest,
words, your words.
Yeah, I'm getting to it. Yeah, I think that the way you summed him up in terms of the fear that he brought to opposition sides and supporter bases, he was always
Still is.
obviously you had your Petrarcas and your Olivers and all your
we
others,
don't
but,
talk about them,
but
Manny.
the one constant at Melbourne for the last decade or so has always been Max Gawn, and he has always been the most difficult player in that Melbourne side to try and contain, because you might think, oh, he's done okay, we've got him in the ruck, but then he'll go down back, take a few intercept marks, and then you try and stop him there, and he just goes up forward, clunks a few more, hits the scoreboard. Just a workhorse. And, yeah, definitely a player I wish that we had. We won a premiership. It's fine. But, yeah, other than that,
Easier.
other than
So do
that,
we.
Yeah.
other than that,
Ours is better.
the greatest respect for someone like Max. And, yes, love the way he leads.
And he's got a son.
He's off his P's.
Yeah, he's off. You can drive for as fast as you want. You can have 2 beers too.
Oh,
You're,
jeez, upgrades.
you're off your P's, mate. All right, let's roll into them. Now, we have no idea who these people are. They are Melbourne supporters, so we'll give them some love. So just take the floor, Nick. Who have we got?
Sure. First one is Kobe. Email is vossisaflog@flogmantle.vom.
That could be
Oh.
Patrick Voss. That could be the other Voss. This is great.
DeeBrief, listen, 2 points. One, it hurt, but on reflection, Fremantle were looking black flag mantle. They have great backs, insane mids. If Bolton can play like that to complement Jackson and Brayshaw and Sarong, geez, like most teams would really be on the back foot, and their forwards are huge. We lost Disco. The fumbles are fumbles. Young team, we can live with that. Because I actually really do believe in Kingy, and I really do believe in these boys, and the vibes of the club were really high, and I don't want to go back to the veil of darkness that Ruzi spoke about and just have that shadow go over us because we kind of get blown out in one game. We can bounce back for that, because I think the culture and the vibes feel good enough to be able to do that. But to maintain that culture, got to fly the flag. And this is point 2, when Voss is acting like such a flog. Like, he crossed the line. He intimidated us. He embarrassed our players, or intended to embarrass our players. And we didn't have anyone getting into him. And I know that's really hard when the scoreboard is the way it is. But fly the flag for Petty. Fly the flag for Langdon. We'll sort it out, I believe.
Like it.
That was brilliant. First point, there is no darkness.
Nah.
Couldn't feel any last week, even after the loss. I just shook it off. Fremantle, very good team. It's about time for them.
Yeah.
They are expecting to get to a prelim. I've spoken to a few Freo fans that I work with. We've got the Perth studio, of course, at Backchat here. They want finals wins. So that's where they are. That's their trajectory. On the point about Petty and Langdon, I totally concur. And I spoke about this on the Monday review show. We did it on a Sunday. It was a bit piss weak. However, my point on it was, under Goodwin, Port Adelaide used to pull our pants down and get stuck into Gawn and a few other of our stars, particularly Gawn. and we never did anything about it. We're a bit soft. I reckon if I'm Kingy, knowing the way Kingy played his footy, and I remember it well,
Kick him in the head.
Kick him in the head. Sorry, Jeff. But bit of mongrel bastard in Kingy, and I reckon he's sitting there in the coach's box and he's going, all right, I've learned a bit about the group. Maybe there is a slight soft underbelly still here. I have full faith that the King will eradicate that from the playing group and drill a little bit more mongrel in them and hopefully get them to stand up for themselves, because I didn't like it either. I thought it was piss weak. As soon as Voss was doing what he was doing, I was like, come on, fireworks, boys. Get into him. Few fisties. Let's go. Nothing. It was a bit meek, Zorks.
Don't just stand up for yourself. Stand up for your oppo. Stand up for your club. Stand up for the supporters. You're a player of the Melbourne Footy Club, but you're a custodian of the Melbourne Footy Club. And when you are a custodian of the club, you represent everyone. It's embarrassing to watch.
Agree.
I think that there is absolutely a place for the coach to get into some of the boys' ears and go, "Oi, Carlton, if you punch this dude in the solar plexus and you get 4 weeks, don't worry about it.
We'll bring you straight back in.
Don't worry about it, mate. You are doing a service." Let's see how Patrick Voss goes when they're down by 30, 40, 50 against a team that they shouldn't be when it matters. Then we'll see. If you're still doing that, good on you, man. Good on you. That's just who you are. You're carrying on like that only when you're winning. We've all been that POS, right, in the past where, you know, you're up and about and you kind of dig the boot in. You know, it's Macca's for dinner. Feels good, but you know it's probably not the right thing to be doing.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it just looked like a loser in my
Absolute
opinion.
loser.
Oh, that's all.
Delisted by Essendon.
Yeah.
By definition.
It's funny. He got so caught up in it. He's like, oh, this is hilarious. I'm just going to run with it. It's like, no one really cares that much, mate.
What have you done? Who are you? And are you that tough without Amos and Tracy either side of you?
Nah.
Absolutely not.
Nah. Whatever.
He's
Don't
a
want to give
coward.
him. Don't want to
Just
give
like
him
his
more,
father.
Don't want to give him more oxygen.
Patrick Voss, you're a coward, just like your father. Where's the camera? Come here. So, I hate him.
Done. That's fine. I think he's up there in terms of most hated in the comp, by the way.
Getting there. Now, look, I love I love the personality and all that, but also, like, it's on-site prick. Sorry. Go.
Go.
Next up, we've got peter@dees@gmail.com.
All right, I am just sick and fucking tired of Caleb Windsor, our prize draftee, doing fuck all in games. Doesn't get played in the midfield, 13 touches, 8 kicks, 5 handballs, and only 2 tackles. Bought in Caleb Windsor, high draft pick, tons of potential. I just don't think he's really shown it off. Honestly, guys, I think we need to drop Caleb Windsor from the team. He has not done much. I actually thought blokes like Xavier Lindsay played a better game, hasn't played much. Latrell Pickett was in and under. I also thought a couple more disappointing. Van Rooyen going from 5 goals to only 10 touches,
6.
only 4 kicks. Yeah, look, you know, good squad from Freo. Like, they're a great team, but honestly, just a bit disappointing overall. But, yeah, fucking, mate, come on.
Master.
Windsor, get him out of the squad. I hate him.
I don't think Latrell Pickett had 1 tackle last week.
Lots of players were down.
A lot of players were down.
Peter, it's a game of opinions, but I don't agree. Caleb Windsor was excellent the week before against St Kilda. He actually polled 2 DeeBrief Player of the Season votes as voted by the fans against St Kilda. And, yeah, he was down last week. And I feel sorry for Caleb Windsor because last year he had a coach that was trying to experiment with him at half back and it wasn't really working. And then the first game that Troy Chaplin was in charge, he put him in the middle against Western Bulldogs and he played some really good footy. He butchered it a little bit that game, admittedly, but he found a ton of it and he used his run and carry and it broke the game open for us. And we were a big sniff in that game against a highly fancied opponent and he was one of the main contributors why we were a sniff. He's a third-year player. He burst onto the scene. He was really good in his first year. We've got to give him time. I really believe in his talent, his ability, and I think he's going to be a very good football player for this football club. It's okay to have a difference of opinion. Maybe Peter doesn't see it. Maybe doesn't believe in it. I would just be patient because he's under a new coach. We're 2 games in. It's his first time being somewhat of a full-time mid. Let's just see how it plays out.
Yeah, I understand what Pete's saying, but I think as Melbourne fans, we're also conditioned to expect a certain amount of output from our mids. Your Traxy Olivers, 13 or 15 over-the-top handballs to someone in pressure. Is that better than a more lean game from someone like Caleb breaking the lines, shooting daggers into the forward 50 or taking the game on? Mids aren't, as I say, oils aren't oils with Valvoline. Mids aren't mids. There's different flavours of mids, right? Nick Dacos is not a Patrick Cripps. You could argue one's better than the other. One's got 2 Brownlows, one's got a flag.
Yeah.
All right? So I think we as Dees fans have to get with the program as well and understand modern football is not about big bullocking, 35 touches a game, mids doing all that. You back someone that's slight, and these are young men. Young men, we've all been young dudes here. You operate off confidence, right? At this stage, King is still instilling the confidence in these young guys. And you can only get that through repetition.
Yep.
And ideally, success. And I think Caleb's shown enough to persist and go, he's showing the right.
I agree. Nick.
Sorry, I'm just messaging the Pies Nation chat, just sort of teams. This is from...
he's off his P's.
Double demerits, eh? You might be off your P's, but it's double demerits.
You're gonna cop a few demerits.
This one's from Anonymous.
Oh, okay.
Feeling pretty dark after that,
Nah.
I'd have to say.
Come on.
I'm thinking to myself, when we drafted Windsor...
Oh, no.
We could have picked Carlton.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Absolute sick player.
Yes.
O'Sullivan.
Yeah.
Absolute sick player.
Is he sick?
And Caddy. Absolute sick player.
Missed one from the goal square.
He did.
Where does Windsor sit in that mix?
Where does he sit in that mix? We're doing it again. Far out.
I've been blindsided.
We both have been. I didn't know what was being played, but that's the beauty. I don't want to know what's been played. Curtin, Gawn, Sullivan, don't know yet, but looks like he's got all the tools. Nate Caddy, again, looks like he's got all the tools, but we'll see what it transpires with him. For what it's worth, I'm a big fan of Caleb Windsor, and I think I've just said it before. I think he's got everything in his locker to become a fine footballer for this football club. So it's too soon to be having these conversations. The one thing I'll say about like modern footy, and this might be me getting a little bit long in the tooth, I hate knee-jerk reactions, and I don't want to shoot down Anonymous, but I'm just a patient guy. I'm willing to just like see it out. I'm willing to give it time. I'm willing to reserve my judgment, and maybe we're better placed in 2-3 years' time to then give our 2 bobs worth about Caleb Windsor. And it's the same thing for like the Carlton Dolstrops of this world as well. I just want to wait another few years until we see how the dust settles, where they sit in the competition. I think it's too soon to be judging players who are third-year players. Like Christian Petrarca, let's not call him Judas. He's great at the football club. We've got to remember that. But Christian, his first 4 years, he was nowhere.
He was almost a whipping boy for a bit.
Massive whipping boy, particularly in 2019. And then he finally got his shit together in his 5th year of AFL footy in 2020. And he was like, nah, I can play at this level. I'm a gun. So just keep that in the back of your mind, that some of these blokes might not come on until their 5th or 6th year even. So I'll temper it with that.
Yeah, and just to back Anonymous up for 1 sec, I wanted Carlton above Windsor in the draft.
Sure.
I really, really high on Carlton. We got Windsor. I saw his tape and I said, okay, now I see what we're doing. You can't compare two separate players in the same draft, right? Because they enter different teams, different programs. Some players are worth more than the sum of their parts in some teams than they would be in the other. Okay, someone like Caleb Windsor is a system player. Someone like Daniel Carlton is I would almost say a pivot player. You can pivot off them, right? Someone like Caleb you're an ensemble. Yeah, there's saxophones. Yeah, there's strings. Yeah, there's this. there's no one part that's more important than the other. Sure, the gong makes the biggest noise, but to have a symphony, you got to have it all. You like that? How we going?
All right, Nick.
2 more.
Yeah, 2 more.
This is Ethan. Email is Pat Voss sleeps with the lights on at wanker.
I like where this is going.
Please don't be Windsor.
You never know.
Oh.
Boy, that was fucking putrid. I mean, not going to go early and say, oh, that was awful and we're shit again and we're not going to do anything. Like, be an overreaction, but the expectation, go over there, just don't get our pants pulled down. And that's exactly what happened from the get-go. You know, at least if we had shown some fight, like more than just half of the second quarter, we could have walked away with something.
It was a good half.
But, boy, like when you're getting belted on the ball like that, it would have been nice for some of the boys to stand up and maybe show a bit of fucking backbone. Like, you've got Patrick Voss picking up Langdon, showing him off, you know, all smile. You go over and you belt him. Nothing untoward, nothing suspension, but you go over. Someone needs to go over and hit him. And just bump him, take him
Nothing
out.
untoward,
You know,
flog him.
wipe the fucking smile off his face. And we just don't have that killer instinct. We don't have anyone on the team who's willing to do that. You know, that happens to Nick Dacos. You best believe half that team is remonstrating. So it's just stuff like that. Like, if we're not going to show up on the ball, and we didn't today, we were completely just gutted everywhere, at least show a bit of spine and a bit of grunt. And we couldn't even do that. So on to Carlton. We probably have a good chance of knocking them off, but we need to make some serious changes.
Spot on. Hit the bloke. We didn't do it. It was disappointing. We were 54 possessions, I think, in arrears after quarter time. It was an obliteration out of the middle. It was mental. They just absolutely torched us in all areas. We were lucky they were inaccurate in that first term. They kicked 7-7 off the top of my head. The thing that actually annoyed me more in the round, if we want to generalise about the game, is we got it back to 20 points, which is threatening enough, and there were only 2 minutes left on the clock in the second quarter, and we conceded 2 junk times. That fucking pissed me off almost more than any other facet of the game, even the first quarter included, because we just undone all that hard work to chip away. Then the exclamation mark for me, which pissed me off more than that, was when the first 5 minutes of the third quarter were going to be the most pivotal moment in the game. We could have potentially got ourselves back into a contest. Now, we probably weren't going to win the game, but I would have liked to have hung in the game for longer. And Jack Steele just decided to, instead of picking up the pud, and he played really well, mind you, he kicked it off the deck when we're in our forward 50, and then it bounced out the other end, and Dudley kicked a goal. Kozzy's chase down tackle was almost incredible, and I hope they reviewed that during the week, the coaching staff and the players. That is the standard. Do it like that, boys. But we went to water in the first 5 minutes of the third quarter, and then it was a non-event. It was a non-event for the rest of the game. So that's what really annoyed me as well, that not only was the first quarter just an abomination, it was just the fact that we'd done all this hard work, lost our way at the end of the second. They then go in with a 5-goal lead. And then we just needed to start well at the start of the third, kick the first couple. Fremantle just take the game away from us immediately. And then you're just sitting there going, oh, great. I've got to sit here for another almost 2 quarters and just sit here and watch what? A nothingness game that just petered out to its inevitable conclusion. I agree. I don't want those matches. Now, we might get pumped by other teams who might pull away on us late. But please, for the love of God, Melbourne, rock up with the same intensity that you did against St Kilda. Don't go to water. And senior leaders and players, if you're under some heat and you need to absorb, do the fundamentals. Pick the frickin' ball up. Don't defer responsibility. Jake Lever's paddle into no man's land. Yeah. What was that? And I'm going to make a really firm point here. And I am calm and I am certainly patient. But Christian Salem, Jake Lever, Harrison Petty, Tom Sparrow, senior boys who've been in the system for a long time, they're on a bit of a watch list for me this week. And it's a very small watch list, but it's I don't know if you're playing great footy at the moment, fellas.
Yeah.
You got to ramp it up this week.
There's a little bit of the last generation, right, that you kind of watch. And it's really obvious as well with the older boys that are a part of the Gooden era. You know, evolve or die. How quick do you want to go about this, right?
Yeah.
That kicking forward, that paddling forward, we understand Kingy's saying move the ball, move the ball, move the ball. But I'm sure he had conversations about when it's not going our way, what we need to do. And from what I observed on the weekend, I really liked that we were so keen to move it forward. But running around like a headless chook isn't the way forward. You've got to, as I've been told, control that excitement.
Yeah.
Right? Throughout my whole life, you know, it's one thing to be, oh, yeah. When the time requires you to bunker down, when are you going to bunker down?
Yeah.
And people like that. And those boys, and it's very damning for those guys because they came from a defensive contest game plan that won them a flag. So if anything, the seniors that know how to bunker down, defend, contest, you guys should have been the ones to lead that.
100%.
They were the biggest perpetrators of dinky, soft, non-penetrating kicks. Lever and Salem have always just kicked out lollipops, and they've always made me nervous. No, they're great. They're great. Always made me nervous with their disposal in terms of they don't kick it quite quick enough for the opposition to not get there in time. It's always a last minute, you know, they've kicked it to someone that's had to turn and mark on the last bit. Look, we can move on to the next day.
No, it's good. It's good. It's a very valid chat. Chase is in the studio with us as well, who does some great work on the DeeBrief socials.
Extraordinaire.
Absolute weapon. And I reckon I'm going to speak for all Melbourne supporters in this room.
Please.
Obviously not Nick. And there is nothing worse in footy than a team that gets a run on against you and piles on an unanswered 4, 5, 6 or 7 in quick fashion. And if there's anything we want, I think, as a supporter base, because we copped that far too much last year under Goodwin, it's the good teams don't get scored as heavily in short periods of time like we saw last week. That is the trick for Kingy. Now, we're not a good side yet. We want to become a wild card side or a side that just finishes outside maybe, but we're playing a decent brand. If there's one thing you want to correct, it's that element of your game.
Oh, yeah.
Because I like when it's like a tidal wave and it's repeat forward 50 and it's score and it's score and it's score and it looks like there's nothing you can do as a team to hold up. It's a horrible feeling. I hate that feeling.
If you go about your day wondering at any moment now, I could go into a fit that will hurt me, you're not going to do anything. You need to have that confidence that fit's not going to, or at least I can abate that fit within a couple of minutes. So you can go for long drives and holidays and whatnot, right? That fit being the 5-6 goal turn on us, you need to be able to adjust quicker. Way quicker than that.
When you said abate, all I thought about was Matthew Bate.
Well, he kicked the ball to Salem against Essendon in 2012 when we beat him.
That's all I thought about. I just saw his beautiful red hair and his big turning circle with his left foot.
I wonder where he's selling real estate right now.
Don't know.
I assume he's selling real estate.
Shout out to Matthew. Last one, Nick, and then we'll get to teams and wrap up.
Yeah, this is Phil.
Oh, hey, Phil.
Fill in. One of your boys.
Fill in.
Jeez, boys, I tell you what. For a team that hasn't won a flag, they were very, very arrogant. One quarter absolutely cooked us, but you know what? We fought back. We made it respectable. We'll come out again and we'll absolutely pump the Blues. Cheers, boys.
Fill us up. Fill us up.
Phil, good stuff.
I like
And do you know what? That's Tub.
That's Tub.
I mean,
he's going to tub you at the G on Sunday.
The other one. The other ones were probably Tub as well, but I didn't think about Tub.
I wasn't Tub last week.
Sorry to everyone else. There were some really good ones in there.
Yeah.
The bloke who shit canned Windsor and the other bloke.
The others.
Love you, but you're not getting Tub.
That's right.
Sorry, fellas.
Windsor will prove him wrong, and we'll all be happy. If
Windsor's going to have 30 and 3. So.
Let's go.
And who cares? We all win.
Sacramento. Let's go.
Sacramento, what do we got?
Extended squad, remember?
Oh,
for
yes,
the
of
Sunday
course.
game. So one confirmed out is Daniel Turner.
My boy.
All right,
The extended ins, T-Mac,
love it.
Get the shirt out.
Bailey Laurie,
Max,
Put
put the
don't,
shirt
do-
away.
don't do that.
Max Heath, and Paddy Cross.
Oh, Paddy! They said if Paddy gets his opportunity, he will take it with both hands. They rate him. They rate Paddy.
Okay, so Max Heath though as well. Not Max. Yeah.
Nah, Heathy won't play if T-Mac's playing.
Paddy Cross.
Paddy Cross. Big.
Electrician. We have a good history with electricians.
We do.
Oh, Bailey Smith. Bailey Fritsch Electrical.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
your extended bench at the moment is Colt, Cully, Langdon, Laurie, Rivers, Heath, Pickett, and Cross.
I just think it's T-Mac for Disco because clearly it is.
Yep.
Heathy?
I want him in. I want the moose. Shout out Paddy. My boy Paddy.
I feel like
TR's brother. Shout out TR.
I feel like Moose might be a chance. What does Chase think?
Oi,
Yell out there
did we
from
drop
the
Petty?
gallows. What do we think? Come on.
No, obviously T-Mac in for Disco. But I wouldn't mind a little tough call on the trail.
We spoke
I felt
about
a little bit small against Freo, and I wouldn't mind seeing the Moose get his chance. To go.
Okay, we'll find out tomorrow.
I'm
at
up and about.
approximately 5 p.m.
I'm up and about for Moose. But Paddy Cross, what do we know about him?
Well, he's a Sparky.
Yeah, and the last time we brought a Cross into the team, that started our premiership run. Daniel Cross, the first number one guy.
That's
Or who's
omens.
brought in to fix this. There's huge omens. Next thing, we'll bring in Bernie Vince. Let's go.
Burn.
Sex Vince.
How many Vinces have played for Melbourne? Probably one.
Ooh.
Probably one.
Yeah, we'll have a look.
We go to Carlton.
So Carlton, one confirmed out at the... Yeah, trust me. Cooper Lordy's out with illness. Their extended bench is Akers, Hewitt, O'Keefe,
Don't say
Ainsworth,
Akers. Don't say that name ever again.
Boyd, Fogarty, Evans, and Cowan.
Okay.
Every time, it's
Go.
like, who are these people? And then Sunday happens.
Yeah, well, who was...
Cook us.
what was his name? Moya. Is his name-
Ashton.
Who was
Yeah, Moya.
like
yeah.
last year?
Yeah.
Kicks 4. Who are you, brother?
He hasn't done it since.
like, what?
Okay, here's what we
It's
do.
like when Ben Ronk kicks 6 or something.
Oh, my God. Here's what we need to do.
He just vanished. Where is he?
Bring him in.
Everyone was like, this guy's going to be a superstar.
He was in my. I was in Supercoach back then. He was in everyone's Supercoach the very next week, and
Where'd
then
you
just
go?
none of us won that season. I think we drop Petty, bring in Max Heath.
Could happen.
I want Max Heath bullying Harry Mackay.
Depends on the rest of Carlton's team. So let's go through Carlton's team so we can boo them
Yes,
and hear the other names. Go from the back, Nick.
So Lewis Young,
coward.
Boo.
he's probably the worst player that currently plays in the AFL.
Oh, I love it.
Jacob
Boo.
Wiedering,
Pretty good.
Harry Dean, Ollie Hollins, Mitch McGovern,
Ollie
Ollie
Hollins.
Florence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, midfield is...
Ollie Florent, remember the kick after the siren?
Oh,
And didn't make the distance and he's celebrating?
Midfield is Pitnett, Jagger,
Boo.
I like
Walsh,
Pitnett.
Boo.
Carroll Cripps, Chesser.
Chesser? Is he the West Coast
Yeah,
player?
the former West Coast.
Jeez.
Forward line is Hayward,
Campbell.
Elijah
Ooh.
Hollins, Zach Williams, Byrne, I don't know who that is,
Mm.
Harry and Brody Kemp.
Are the Hollands the worst brothers in the AFL?
I don't know. We're not going to talk about
Apart from
them.
like the Scott brothers because of Brad.
We're not going to talk about them.
Okay.
On ball? Pitnett.
Jagger, Walsh, Pitnett,
Oh, yeah.
and Cripps.
Jack is good.
Yeah, so Carlton, very, very good at contested ball, which people think might be an issue for us with
Give it to
our
them.
lightweight team.
Give it. We've given away the contested ball. Like we know that.
Well, do you know what's funny? We could set up in the way that a lot of teams have set up, and we're slingshotting pretty well. We're scoring from defence the most out of any team. It's the smallest sample size of all time. It's two games. It'd be smaller if it was one game, Adrian. But it's still pretty small.
True.
And even though it is small, I'm going to just play on it a bit and suggest that you can have all the ball from the middle. You can try and trap it in your front half, but we're going to bounce out and we're just going to torch you on the wide expanses of the MCG and use our run and carry. And it looks like we're going to be a running team under Kingy. And I think that's what gives us real hope in this game. Now, looking at some of the names from the Carlton lineup, midfield-wise, is it worth tagging a Patrick Cripps? Probably not. I reckon Sam Walsh could be a go. I reckon Walsh could potentially be the guy for a Colt if we're going to go down that path again, which I think we will.
Colt will run him around.
Harry Mackay, you worry about Petty's form a little bit and what happened last week with Josh Tracy. He wasn't nearly physical enough with him. He got thrown around way too much for my liking. T-Mac could definitely do a job on him. He's got the athleticism. He's got the jump. He's probably better positionally, the way that he can maybe stand off him a little bit, chop him out from the front.
He's not playing for his life either. T-Mac's just, everything's a gift.
True.
As Mackay thinks that every game could be his last.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's hope there with T-Mac potentially doing a job on Big Harry. And then I look at some of the other players and I'm like, all right, does Wiedering go to a Brody Myercheck and does Mitch McGovern go to Jacob Van Rooyen? And do we like those matchups?
Mitch McGovern's a very bloody good footy player.
He's a Jacob
bloody
Wiedering's
good. Yeah, oh, absolutely. Like they are those two teams, if you ask me, most important players.
There's one player that has to lift for us because by his standards, he's been quiet.
Koz.
Yeah, and he has to. And
he will.
He's inflicted a lot of damage on Carlton over the journey. So I'm looking at Koz going, this game is tailor-made for you. Bailey Fritsch, it's tailor-made for you as well, just looking at some of the matchups. Because if Wiedering and McGovern are doing a job on Myercheck and Van Rooyen, in theory, Fritsch, Dean, young kid come in, father-son, Young's a hack, Florent couldn't kick more than 50 metres or even 40 metres to win a game off his own boot after the siren, so I'd fancy our chances against him. And then I go down the list and I'm trying to look at players who can give us danger. Weirdly, one of the players that can give us danger because he has in the past is Will Hayward. He's gotten off the chain against us when he played for Sydney.
Yeah, but once again, that's when he was surrounded by Sydney players.
Oh, true.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what the biggest thing I'm picking up from their team is who's running on their squad. It's just much of the same. It's much of the same. We've seen this. We've seen this the last 3 years. We know what we're getting. We are the wildcard team on the wildcard pod in the wildcard year, and we're going to have the wildcard final spot. They're not running. I think that they might be ahead by a goal at halftime. They can't start well because they're unfit, and they don't finish well because they're unfit. They're going to have a good second quarter. We might be behind at halftime.
Sure.
I'm backing us in. Our fitness.
When do we blow them out? Halfway through the fourth or earlier?
I think Freo will be the harbinger of doom, and it'll be just before the end of the third quarter, and it'll be tops off pod time.
Whoa!
Yeah, I might be DMing again. No, I won't be. I promise I will not DM after a heavy win on the P155 because I did not remember sending that last week. And when I was listening on Friday morning, whenever it was, I was just like, oh,
yeah.
Who was that?
It was good areas from Zorks. All right, well, we can wrap there. We'll do some predictions. Chase, give us your prediction. Come back in, please. Get on that microphone. Yeah. Give us your bog and give us your margin.
Yeah, well, I think I have to go Kozzy, as you said, given Carlton nightmares in the past, and he is definitely due. So Kozzy for 5 goals, he'll be bog.
Love it.
And, yeah, really like what you said, Zorks, behind at half-time, and I think we kick away at the end of the third. I think we'll kick 3 goals in the last 5 minutes of the third.
Bang, 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 bang.
And then we'll just hold like a steady sort of 20, 25-point margin till the end. So I'll go 24 points.
Rate that. Robbo, strong.
That's good. What about you, Zorks?
I think the Melbourne Football Club will win by 17 points.
Yep. An ode to Bowser?
Yeah, bring him back.
Yep.
Dick Johnson, actually, famous V8 supercar driver. Famous number 17. And you know what? I'm not usually a sentimental person, but Max Gawn. I want him to be bog. We'll finish up for me. I think Max bog.
Big Maxi. Yeah, I've been trying to grow a beard for Maxi this week.
How many weeks is that now?
It's the best I can do.
I don't mind it.
I don't know. It's probably 10 days.
So you grow the beard for Max. I'll eventually go bald for Max.
I can't grow a beard. This is as good as it gets. It's actually really embarrassing. I'm thinking that it's going to go down to the wire again.
Oh, no.
Because maybe Melbourne are a little bit inaccurate. We don't take our chances. Carlton will hang around. I think we'll get them, I reckon we're going to get them by 3 points, something ridiculous.
I don't want that on a Sunday.
Yeah, I know. No, I don't know why, but we're going to entangle ourselves in another absolute thriller. We get the Chockies this time, but only just. And I'm going to go for Brody Myercheck to kick the sealer, the winning goal, because former Collingwood player.
Nick likes that.
And he probably hates Carlton's guts. And I think he would love nothing more than to have a big say in Carlton supporters leaving with their tail between their legs.
Do you want my prediction?
Yes. Yeah, go. Here we go, Nick.
Here we go.
Woo-hoo. He's in. He's off his peas.
So Melbourne by...
Love it.
Do you think he'll win? Be honest.
Yes.
He does.
But I'll be conservative. I'll say 126 points. And Carlton will kick 2 goals 14.
Perfect. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
What do you actually think we'll win by?
5 goals.
Wow.
Great.
He's confident.
They are horrible in third quarters. You'll blow them away in the third quarter.
That's how. That is probably what we should be doing. Like, yeah.
Great. I love this. Yeah, no, I'm feeling win. I'm feeling T-Mac, Gawny at the end, on the shoulders. Everyone's happy. Zorks is getting ready to do a piss DM. It's all happening.
Oi.
Yeah.
Is Max going to be on someone's shoulders?
Wow.
Max. Maybe that's why Max Heath has been brought in.
No shit.
Oh, my God.
Smart.
Chairs Heath.
Yes.
This is genius.
Very smart by the club.
Oh, my God. The club decided to beat them on Thursday night. That's awesome.
They did. Well done, club.
Go Dees.
Well done. I'll be there with, I think I'm taking Harry. Don't know if Jasper will get in there. He might stay at home with mum. So Harry's pumped. He can't bloody wait. He's been talking about it all week. We going to the G, Dad. Oh, are we playing Carlton Blues? I'm like, yep, mate. He says every team's mascot name as well.
That's adorable.
He's like, Fremantle Dockers. And he calls the Giants, he always goes, the mighty GWS Giants. They're the only team that are mighty.
Yeah.
Every other team is just
taper that. Taper that.
He's like, Richmond Tigers, North Melbourne Kangaroos.
Spray him in the face with some water when he says mighty.
But every single time he says Giants, they're always mighty. So, and that's because the Mighty Giants is the song, right?
Yeah,
Mighty
you know who wrote their song? The Cat Empire.
There you go.
Cat Empire wrote their song, for those of you that didn't know.
Anyway, he's really pumped, the
Love
little
the Cat
fella.
Empire.
So
they're from Melbourne.
Hopefully we win for my son as well. So
do it for Haz.
Do it for Hazza. Do it for yourselves, boys. Last week, do it for Max. Do it for T-Mac. But most importantly, just do it for yourselves, because last week was frustrating. It's going to be a roller coaster. But we need the Chockies.
Yeah.
We cannot lose to this mob again. It cannot be 5 times in a row. I will not tolerate it. I will not stomach it. None of us will. Get it done. Enjoy Sunday. Go hard or go home. That's the pod.
Go Dees.
Go Dees.